Hey y'all, it's Wendy with Drive Across Texas. I am so excited about this segment today. This is my good friend, Connilyn Cossette. She is an award-winning author, and she's here today to tell us a little bit about her books. I'm so excited for you to share.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So tell us, how did you get started? I've known you for a long time, local fellow homeschooling mama,
Yes.
but then you decided to write a book.
I did.
How did that come about?
Well, it was one of those things I wanted to do my whole life.
Okay.
When somebody asked me, what would you do if you had all the money in the world, I always said I wanted to be an author. But it was one of those things that, I got married and had kids, and it kind of moved to the back. And then I just was doing some research in the Bible on my own, for my own, just trying to understand the foundations of my faith. And I came across this verse in the Bible about a mixed multitude going with the Hebrews on the Exodus. And I got so curious about it, I just started doing my own research. And I just had this story pop into my head. And so I started to write. I wrote, I think, 4 or 5 chapters. And I thought, this is the worst thing anyone's ever written, and no one will ever want to read this. And so I put it away. And my husband was a long-haul truck driver at that time. Mm-hmm. And so I was writing, in the middle of the night when my kids were asleep. They were a little tiny. And so it was just something I kept kind of secret to myself. But at one point, I actually decided to pull it out and wrote the rest of the manuscript, sent it to a friend, and she said, well, you need to see if you can get a literary agent. And I said, what's a literary agent? Because I had no idea about the publishing world or anything. Mm-hmm. So I sent lots and lots of letters off to literary agents who all had no idea who I was, and I got lots of no's, lots and lots and lots of no's. And then I ended up going to a conference called the American Christian Fiction Writers Association.
Okay.
And I got connected with them and won an award, actually, for my first manuscript, which was really exciting because I had no idea that anybody would want to read it, of course. And so after that, I got hooked up with an agent, and she sent it out to a number of publishers, and I got picked up by Bethany House Publishers, which was my dream.
So I mentioned that you're an award-winning author. So tell us a little bit about the awards that you've won.
Well, last year was a really exciting year for me. My first book in the second series, A Light on the Hill, won the Carroll Award, which is with the American Christian Fiction Writers Association. Nice. And then I actually won the Christie Award with Shelter of the Most High, which is kind of like the Oscars of Christian fiction. So that was a pretty exciting day.
You're working on your 11th?
Yes, I think
book?
I'm finishing up my 11th book now, and I have another one coming up, and hopefully after that I'll do another series. So.
That's awesome. I'm a little behind. I've read the first couple, but I was thinking, how many has she done so far?
Yeah.
It's been kind of busy, and I got to get on my reading. I read them, and then I pass them on my mom because she
good.
loves Christian fiction too. Good. So tell us a little bit about your first book, because
absolutely,
it's always kind of close to all of us that know you because it was your first, and you're our friend.
Very exciting. Yeah. So this is Counted with the Stars, and this book takes place during the Exodus. And it is the story of a Egyptian woman who is a slave, and she ends up going on the Exodus with the Hebrews, but she refuses to believe in their God. So it's a story of a lot of transformation and learning about who the God of the Hebrews was. So it's definitely the book of my heart.
Yes, well, it's really good, y'all. It was one of my favorites.
Thank you.
So the series that you're doing, this first, is it 11, 12 books it's going to be in this series?
There is the first series is 3 books.
Okay.
That is the Out from Egypt series, which includes Counted with the Stars. The second one is the Cities of Refuge series, and that's a 4-book series. So it takes place within the Cities of Refuge in Joshua 20, where someone who is accused of manslaughter got to run to these cities and be safe. It's kind of like baseball. You run and you're safe there. And if you were convicted of manslaughter, you would stay in the City of Refuge for the rest of your life or until the high priest died, which to me was such a beautiful picture of Jesus dying for us.
Absolutely.
And so that's where that one came from. And then I have a new series that's coming out. I have a book in December 1st, I believe it comes out. And that's my new series called the Covenant House series. And it deals with the Philistines.
Okay.
And the Ark of the Covenant.
Well, see, those are the 2 series that I haven't read yet. Yeah. So I remember seeing on your Facebook about that coming out. So very exciting. Okay, so one of the things that I saw on Facebook that I thought was really cool was the books that are printed in other languages. I just think that's so neat.
Yeah.
I really want to meet somebody that can read to me in another language.
I have no idea what they say. I hope they did it right. We were trying to count, I think it's 5 or 6 languages that they've been translated into: Polish, Slovak, South African, which is really fun, Romanian, Dutch, and I think one more that I can't remember. But it's always exciting to get one of those in the mail and see that my books are going out all over the world. They go out all over the world in English, but to see them in another language is especially neat.
It's kind of neat, yeah. It makes you think about, wow, there are other things out there, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, okay, so I got to ask, we were talking earlier, you're thinking about doing another series and then like future plans.
Well, I'm just going to keep going with this genre because there's so much within the Bible, especially the Old Testament, that I would just love to explore. And I'm a history nerd. I love to go down historical rabbit trails and search all these kind of crazy things. And at times it can be a problem because I get lost off in the internet and who knows, and things never end up in the books. But I just want to follow wherever the Lord leads me and whatever new story comes out of it. So we'll see. I'll just keep going until I can't go anymore.
Okay, so what would you say to the young people out there that have that same dream, that they're thinking, I want to be an author someday? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say 2 things. Number 1, write. Sit down and write whenever you can about whatever you want to write about. Write something that you're interested in learning, or books that you like to read. And also, one of the best things you can do is just be a reader. I was always a reader. I was always the girl with 7,000 library books on the way home, carrying them under my chin, and lots of overdue fines. But also read outside the genres that you normally would kind of gravitate to. We all kind of have those niches that we like. But I would say one of the great things is to look outside your genre. If you are really into historical, read some mysteries. If you're really into fantasy, read some romance or whatever, because you can learn different techniques from different genres. So
That's a good idea.
yeah, and I actually have a plotting group that I work with. We meet once a year. I'm actually going next week to my plotting retreat, and we come together. There's 5 of us, and we plot at least 2 books apiece during that week. And we all write very, very differently. One of us is a mystery writer. A couple of them are contemporary romance, but they write very different. And then, of course, I'm biblical fiction. So we all learn from each other because of that. So it's wonderful.
That's pretty awesome. I like that. Very cool. Well, okay, so if I'm looking for your books and I don't know where to go, where can I find your books? Where's the best place to go?
You can find them at any retailer. You can find them on Amazon. You can find them at Christian book distributors. Baker Book House is a great one, and anywhere you can find books, you should be able to hopefully find it on the shelves. If not, they'll order.
That's right. Well, I'm going to be looking for series number 2 because I don't have that one yet. So, okay, do you have a Facebook page, a website,
I have a
things like
Facebook page, Connilyn Cossette. You can look me up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm there.
There you go. There you go. So, do you get like people contact you, like talking about either just your books or asking questions or wanting to know about becoming an author? Do you get that kind of stuff?
All the time.
Yeah.
Probably at least 5 or 6 a week now. I get
That's awesome.
lots of interesting emails from all over the world. So
yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, awesome. Well, there you have it, folks. If you are looking for somebody that just some great books, good stories, something nice to share with yourself and your family and your kids, definitely worth your time. So check out Connilyn online, find her on Facebook and Instagram, and follow along because I'm going to be so excited about that new book coming out.
My website as well as ConnilynCossette.com.
There you go. There you go. And you can see all of them. So I'm going to have to read fast so I can catch up because I'm behind.
I keep writing.
I know. I'm behind, So, and if anybody knows how to read, South African, look us up because we want you to read to us.
Right.
I think that's so cool. So thanks for coming in and talking to us and sharing your story. What an inspiration. I love it. So there you have it, folks. Don't give up on those dreams because they do come true.
Absolutely.
Bye, y'all.